like a boss.
Live from the USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today, we're doing a, kind of like a snapshot of the moment. We are upon the precipice of the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of humanity. My name is Brandon Kelly. I'm here to document the experience. And most recently, we kind of had an endorsement from one of the most notable personalities in the world of marketing. And so it's a pretty impressive advertisement that's been put out on behalf of the cryptoverse. So without further ado, let's do what it do. Let's go ahead and make this money. If this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as the Crypto Trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you get to profit as a result, and today is no exception. So what you need to do right now, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. I'm coming on as often as I can to give away this knowledge to help people make as much money as possible in the markets. And today, we starting our giveaway back. This is how I grew this channel. So we about to pay people, to engage in the community. It's a beautiful thing. So you want to go on Facebook and the #1 Bitcoin group in the world and share this post right here when it will be announced live on the air on Friday. Again, that is the #1 Bitcoin group in the world. #1. Come on in. The doors are always open. Share this post right here at the top of the page and you will be automatically entered to win some free BTC compliments of the boy BK, right? So again, winner will be announced on Friday. So what is today's video about? The most interesting man in crypto. If you remember the Dos Equis commercial, this was a notable, my formal experience, for those of you guys that don't know, what I'm saying? I got 3 letters behind my name from the great University of Notre Dame. And one of the things we talked about was brand positioning, product endorsement, brand prestige, even the university itself. It's like, it's not too many more universities more prestigious than that which is the University of Notre Dame. And this man kind of embodies all of those things, exemplifies, prestige, excellence, notoriety. And he most recently was contracted. He's a paid actor, available for hire, as it would seem. And he was contracted by Bitwise. They launched the crypto ETF media campaign with the most interesting man in the world. His name is Jonathan Goldsmith, and he was made famous for the Dos Equis commercials, and most recently did a advertisement for an ETF under Bitwise. So that shows you, if they're putting up, millions of dollars on these kind of campaigns, it's about to be billions of dollars flowing into the market. So I just wanted to show you the video real quick. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
You know what's interesting these days? Bitcoin. Look for Bitwise, my friends.
It's just that quick. You know what I'm saying? If you blink twice, you might have missed it. But in that 10 seconds, we have one of, I think, the most notable endorsements for the crypto industry of this year. Again, this is a very, very, very exciting moment in time. I think when you go back and look at other moments that have helped the cryptoverse develop its landscape and its infrastructure and its notoriety and kind of get the mainstream adoption and the societal utilization, over the years, we've had Crypto.com. They did a big commercial campaign with Matt Damon, and people don't realize, I'm not going to click on the ad because I didn't edit it and throw it through the, the copyright censoring machine. But if you watch that commercial, that's actually not Matt Damon. That is an replica of Matt Damon. That is, it's all digitized, this is a digital representation of Matt Damon walking through what is perceived to be the metaverse. You know, and that's why the background changes from all these different scenes, because, you know, it's not really him. It's his likeness and his image, you know, going through the different environments that are created through the metaverse. Again, this is one of the most interesting times, I'll say that, to be alive, right? It's like Drake, what a time to be alive. You know what I'm saying? You know, this was a great ad. It was a great campaign. Like, they were talking about the NFTs coming out and the metaverse, you know, and then Matt Damon come through walking to all these different meta worlds, and it's crazy. It's amazing, you know. And then if you go back the year before that, a little known company called CoinCloud, did a campaign with none other than Spike Lee. This was a very big campaign. That was, you know, multi-million-dollar endorsement, you know, Mr. Lee made on behalf of the crypto industry, talking about new money and the currency of currency. You know, CoinCloud is bankrupt, sucks to be them, but, you know, the message remains the same. Crypto is here. This is the future. The paradigm shift is upon us, and we have some of the most impressive individuals advocating for the advancement of the industry. I think, as you go learn from watching this channel, I'm one of the biggest cheerleaders in the world for crypto. I do not think it's one, you know, outside of FTX, and, you know, a lot of people scamming people. People get scammed every day. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen before Bitcoin was ever invented. People was getting scammed. So, you know, it sucks that, you know, we have these black eyes on the industry, but I think when you come over the top of it with something like the most interested man in the world, it's a notable distinguishment. I think a cheers, a salute. You know what I'm saying? When you look at when you think about that GIF of Leonardo DiCaprio holding his glass up. It's one of them moments. Like, this is something you could drink to and be proud of. That the most interesting man is now in crypto, right? And so that's really it. I think it's just a positive moment for the industry, something to heed and be mindful of moving into the future. And as we move into this new financial industry, we should not forget that there's a lot of money to be made on this table, right? And this was a post that I put in the #1 Bitcoin group in the world a couple days ago, asking which coins will break out first in 2024, right? And this was a pretty big community engagement, right? One guy said ICP, KSM. So I wanted to jump in here and go through a couple of these charts just to see what do the charts look like. So let's do that. Hold on one sec. So if we look at this, ICP, one of the things you guys need to know is I don't use, you know, most people, put it this way. When most people trade or analyze, they don't have a solid methodology, right? What I use is called the boss method. This is self-taught based on fluid mechanics. Water is currency, is the current of the sea, is energy. So the more we correlate that which is energy, financial market transactions, liquid, digital, fluid money, we compare that to water, we start to see what's going on, right? So we got 3 big waves right here. ICP is finishing a major decline, and just most recently had this big pop right here, right? So the biggest thing you want to watch out for is this area. This is going to be some top-down suppression going into ICP. Again, this is going from June all the way to March. That's a 9-month suppression window. I really wouldn't look to get involved in ICP. I know this is at the very early stages of a macro reversal. This is pretty much indicative of the entire crypto industry right now. A lot of charts look like this, you know, to where you had a huge crash correction over the course of, you know, 18 months. And now you're starting to get this dovetail to where it's slowly starting to come back. And then ICP is one to show the first sign of life, right? But again, you got about 9 months worth of suppressed energy that it needs to break through. Now, once ICP, say, gets above or starts testing that price right there, 3,100, you know, and you could even do a double bar, you know, put yourself a little alert when it gets above 2,800. You know, that's when you want to start paying attention to it. It's probably going to take a while. And look, just like that, you know, truth don't lie, right? You know what I'm saying? Just like that. That's where it, you know, that's where it came down at. Right there. So that's kind of like the top-down suppressed energy that this thing is going to need to break through. But once it breaks through, you know, just as it flowed downhill, water can flow uphill as well. And so that's what we have to look forward to on this chart. ICP will probably be a great coin in a matter of a few months, right? So let's go to the next one. Let's look at the new comments. Again, this is the #1 Bitcoin group in the world, people. #1 Bitcoin. Put it on Facebook. Come on in. The doors are always open. We'll do this one from my man Mike Angelo. He threw us some love here, showing all these charts. KSM, right? Let's jump on the KSM. I think I got it down there. Bam! Right? This one. I did a chart. I think I did it on Cardano the other day. Kind of starting to show this dovetail right here. This is a standard normal distribution. One complete cycle. If you look at that right there and then type in standard normal distribution, you will see, you know, this is why my methodology is, as Bitcoin would say, trustless. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to believe that it's gonna work. The math ain't gonna fail you. The math ain't gonna lie. There are certain properties of any numeric function that will be effervescent throughout the collective recognition of such said function. What does that mean? That means men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? And your boy BK put numbers on the board. This is a standard normal distribution right here. We have taken all of the energy, all of the available data, all of the money coming through this one entity, and we've accumulated it into something that which can be statistically evaluated, analyzed, and forecasted upon. It's you know, one day they might give me a Nobel Prize for this kind of stuff. You never even know. You know, and they actually helping out humanity. Yeah, sorry for y'all that don't use that word. It just slipped off my tongue. Don't think I ever said it on this channel. But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, right? So we got the 7, the 77, and the 231. And this thing, this is one of the best buys, you know, in the cryptoverse, in the market. I don't even know what KSM is doing, right? But now I'm going to have to look them up. I'm going to have to make a whole chapter on my channel for KSM, because this is probably going to be one of the best buys of 2024. It's amazing. It's amazing. You got a complete function coming to rest. That means all of the energy over here is coming back on that side of the chart. Back in the day, you know, you used to be able to do some sine wave analysis. I know you can do one right there. You know, all things being equal, move it right there to the fall off, right? All things being equal, this thing is coming back to life in early 2024, right? And I should have did this before I came on here, but it's all right. Boom, 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 boom. And this is when it'll be off to the races next summer. That's going to be beautiful. That is going to be beautiful. This is definitely one of the better charts that I've seen. KSM, you know, if you look at CoinMarketCap, right? Kusama, $30 coin. It'll probably be $100 before the end of 2024. You heard it here first, right? Beautiful chart, beautiful coin, pretty good distribution of the economy. $300 million market cap. That'll probably break $1 billion before the end of next year. And it's a great coin, a great pickup. You know what I'm saying? Again, #1 Bitcoin group in the world. You heard it here first, right? And then let's go down. I think Miss Diana Rodriguez, you know, show some love over here. She said AVAX, ADA. I already did a chart on ADA. I did this a few days ago, you know. Is now the time to buy? The answer is yes, and Miss Diana Rodriguez agrees. But let's jump into INJRNDR. And thank you, Miss Diana Rodriguez, for gracing us with your presence, right? INJ. right? Let's see, where is it? Nope. Okay. I don't even know what INJ is. We gonna learn today. Oh, goodness gracious. Wow. When did she put that? 5 days ago? She called that breakout right here? Oh, it's running right now. Goodness. Yeah. Yeah. So this one's interesting, right? This one has already hit, right? And what I try to do on my channel is I try to show you coins that haven't hit yet. For example, you know, that last chart we literally just looked at hasn't hit yet, right? Kusama, this thing is ready to run, you know, over the next 24 months. It's just beautiful. It's just waiting, right? Whereas INJ, this thing that already made looks like 60% since the beginning of the last year, right? If we put a flag in the ground right there, that's really where the cycle started, right? We do our little, and this thing all the way up here, 800%, goodness gracious. But this is indicative of what alt season looks like. This one just already came through. You know, a rising tide floats all boats. And when you got one of the biggest advocacies of the year happening right before the anticipated ETF, you know, it's going to be easy to make 800%. That's what Kusama might be doing in the next 14 months, right? So this is just a chart, I think, that begins to show you what's possible, right? Keep in mind now, if we was trading this thing, ideally you would want it, honestly, you would want it to get in right here. This is where you want to look to buy. You got two places there, because all that consolidated energy was just constricting, and then this was really the you know, put down 2 and pick up 6. When it ran into the wall right there, that's like a descending wedge. Very, very, very indicative. You got the 7 and the 77 flat. You have a 231 that was literally screaming all the way up. You know, it's just energy. It's like it bounces up, right? And now, you know, I wouldn't recommend buying up here. I think at some point it has to do something like that. Once it goes flat, that's when you want to buy, right? Most cryptos are indicative of what I call a staircase pattern, where you'll see it, you know, break out, go flat, break out, go flat, break out, go flat, right? So at one point when it starts to go flat, that's where you want to look at. But again, as I just showed you, there's some other coins in the market that I believe have much, look at that, same kind of scenario. Break out, go flat, that's where you want to buy. Especially when that 231 is as high as it is on a 343, it's a beautiful thing. 9 out of 10 times it's just go bounce it right back up. You know, that's the whales buying out the hedge fund managers. So it's like they're just swapping positions. So it's really, really cool to see what's happening right now. The market is looking a lot more optimistic, and I'm happy to be able to make this content with you guys. And with that being said, everybody, I wanted to invite you to join me on my journey to change the world and help as many people make as much money as possible in the world of cryptocurrency. We have VIP trading groups. I'm bringing back the profit package on Friday. If you go to bossofbitcoin.com, click on VIP trading groups, bam, right there. $50 for the first month, $100 thereafter, and you will be in a private community of some of the top crypto traders I've had the pleasure of working with over the last few years. King BK, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be the boss. We done made a lot of money together, right? And it's about to come back. It's coming back. So I'm trying to build this infrastructure and set up these different communities so we can literally change the world. I said once upon a time that, you know, I don't want to be the only millionaire in my group. I want 1 million millionaires behind me, right? And that's what we had a chance to do right now. It's literally the greatest transformational wealth in the history of humanity, and now is the time. So with that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK. No matter where you stay. Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player. One time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again. Stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
like a boss.
Huh.
Like a boss.